On day 8, we'll see the Jenkinson's Aquarium, drive to Trenton to see the Revolutionary War sites there, and then drive to Newark and see 2 911 memorials. This is the route we'll be taking today. As usual on a driving day, we'll start off early in the morning, and it's going to be cloudy all day. We'll arrive back on the shore at Point Pleasant Beach, New Jersey.
Take the next left onto Ocean Avenue.
Our first stop of the day will be the Jenkinson's Aquarium. It is located on the boardwalk, right on the beach. We'll look around the boardwalk after we see the aquarium. They have 4 types of rays in this tank: the Atlantic stingray, the yellow stingray, the fiddler rays, and the round stingrays. After the aquarium, we head down the boardwalk to just look around some. We're getting hungry, and so we notice this lobster house here to the left, and we decide to go in and eat lunch there. It is extremely windy and rainy, and you can see on the beach that there's no swimming allowed right now because of the waves. Now it's time to head to Trenton and see some of the sites of the Revolutionary War.
Continue straight to stay on Broadway.
This 150-foot tall monument in Trenton marks the first time Washington won a victory. He and 2,400 men on Christmas Day in 1776 attacked Trenton, where the Hessians were held up, killing 100 of them and capturing 900 of them, and not losing a single man. This monument marks the hill where he set his artillery, and a statue of Washington is at top. During the next 10 days, Washington fought the British 2 more times and defeated them both times. So these were the first victories after many defeats in New York. One of the most daring parts of the entire fight was the fact that he was in Pennsylvania and had to cross the Delaware River during an ice storm in order to get to Trenton to do the fighting at all. And we're going to go see the place right here marked by this bridge where he crossed the Delaware River. We're moving from New Jersey into Pennsylvania on the side of where he launched from. Washington marched down this side of the Delaware River towards the area where the bridge was. To the left in this picture is the ferryman's house where Washington and his commanders met to plan the attack after they crossed the river. We're going to cross back over the Delaware River to the New Jersey side to see where he landed. This is the area where Washington landed with his forces. He moved from left to right across the Delaware River here, and this is what the river looks like today. It didn't have the ice and snow it had when he crossed, and this is the reenactment they do every Christmas Day and the famous painting of it. But this is what a lot of the barges really looked like. They were rather flat and were used for carrying wagons and other things across, and you can see here in this picture. The crossing probably looked a little more like this, or maybe like this artist's rendering. Now it's time to head to Newark, where we'll be staying in a hotel for the next week and crossing back and forth over into New York to look at that area. We have a lot of traffic jams along the way. Seems to be the normal in this area. There seem to be toll roads everywhere, so we pay our toll and head out on one of the piers to see the first of the 2 9/11 memorials that we're going to be seeing today. This one is called the Teardrop Memorial for 9/11 and was given by the Russian people to the people of New Jersey to remember the fight against terrorism. You can see here why it's called the Teardrop Memorial. It has the names of all the people who died at the World Trade Center. Over there is the Statue of Liberty. We'll be looking at it in a few days. It's actually in New Jersey, not New York. Now it's time to head to the second of the memorials for 9/11, the Empty Sky Memorial. As we drive up to the Empty Sky Memorial, we see the Manhattan skyline across the harbor. As you look between the two walls, this is where the two twin towers would have stood, and the walls represent those towers. It is located by the old railroad terminal. It's raining, but we get out to look anyway. If the Twin Towers still stood, we would be looking at them right down these walls right now. And the walls have the names of all the people from New Jersey who died that day. The tall building to the left is One World Trade Center, and it is what replaced the Twin Towers. And now let's look over New York Harbor towards Manhattan. Out in front of the memorial is still from the Twin Towers, and they light it up at night. As said before, it's beside the Jersey Terminal, built in 1889 with 20 tracks, the largest train terminal ever built. By 1900 it had 300 trains and 50,000 passengers passing through it every day. It was abandoned in 1967, and now it's time to head to our hotel we'll be staying in. We decided to stay in New Jersey rather than New York City itself because it was cheaper, and we found out that it was just as easy to get into town from here as it was from New York itself, and a whole lot less complicated to drive to and from.
Your destination is on the right.
We'll be parking in the garage behind this building and staying on one of the upper floors so we can see over to New Jersey. We'll eat supper at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, a rather expensive but really good steakhouse. And now it's time to call day 8 to an end.